Welcome to Travel Market Life, the Hotelier's Voice series, where I, Ryan Haynes, speak to hoteliers from across Europe to find out about the new technologies and systems that they're implementing in their properties to get a better handle of the marketplace. Joining me today is Thibault Catala from Catala Consulting, an outsourced revenue management company working across Europe with hotels in Greece, Spain, France, Portugal, the UK, and we'll be hearing about his particular project with Eccleston Square Hotel. So Thibault, thank you very much for joining me today. How are things in East London?
Everything okay, Ryan? What about you? All good?
Yes, all very well. Thank you very much. So talking about the tech that you're using, you're a revenue manager by trade. Your background is IHG and Four Seasons. And now with your own consulting company, you've been supporting independent and also group properties to get a better handle on their revenue management processes and systems. So few things for us to talk about, especially the different types of technologies that you've implemented. Now, you were telling me that you really work with three base systems. So do you want to just explain what sort of systems you look at first for a hotel?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, for us, technology has been one of the key elements in any hotel structure. And if hotelier leverage it correctly, they can drive an increase of productivity, stronger revenue, and as well as market share. And for us, when we take over any client, any new client, we are going through a step optimization method. And one of the early steps is to audit and review the technology stack. Okay, to make sure they are fully optimizing their technology. So first of all, we work with a property management system, which is at the heart and the center of all the operations. We work with Apaelo and Mews. We have been doing some implementation and some shift from a legacy system like Opera to more cloud-based and new technologies such as Apaelo and Mews. We also work with revenue management systems like Atomize, Space, Duetto, and Ideas. So again, there's no one solution that fits all, and we, depending on the needs and requirement of each hotel, we recommend different systems. And last but not the least, we have been working with the channel manager, such as Site Manager. So again, that's the three key pillars of our revenue management system, PMS, and channel manager.
I mean, amazing, because obviously, as you say, you're going really to the heart of the hotel, and this is changing how the hotel actually operates, which must be quite a challenge into itself. And there are so many new different systems out there on the market, so many different property management systems, and we've seen particularly some in recent years like Apaelo and Mews appear on the scene, and they're making a big progress, particularly for being cloud-based. Do you see this as the trend that we are going to see hotels in the next few years really ditch the legacy systems, or does it really depend on the type of hotel it is?
I think it depends mostly on the hotel type. They don't have the same budget to start with, and they don't have the same requirement and needs. However, I have the feeling that it's a main shift from most of the hotels, whatever type they are, from shifting from the legacy when they are stuck with one system for 30 years, 40 years, when they now are looking to optimize the PMS or any other system, and they can try different approaches. So it's the end of the legacy system when you are stuck with it, and you can actually try, and if it doesn't work, and you change, you try something else, but they are very agile. So definitely, I think that this is a new trend in the industry.
And so what sort of criteria do you look at when it comes to deciding a property management system?
Yeah, I mean, for us, we when we assist with the RFP, or when we assist with first we start with the audit and review of the existing structure, and then we'll give some recommendations. But when we assist with the RFP support for any kind of hotels, we also look at 8-step processes to make sure we understand the RFP team and so on. But what is most important is we go through a highly personalized criteria matrix. So we talk to the team, we looked at which criteria they are mostly interested in, and then we are going to score each of the systems that we are sourcing, and we are going to decide what is the score of each and which one makes more sense for the hotel or not. So it's very kind of a scientific method behind. It's not like this, just with a wind, or because I have a friend in Apaelo or in Mews. It needs to be a scientific approach to remove this kind of emotion from the equation, and then we can look at evaluating the right platform. Yeah.
And sort of like how well are you finding that your customers, your clients engage with that process? Because I mean, particularly at the moment, obviously, there's been a lot of change in the market itself, and I guess they must be looking at how they can prepare themselves and make sure that they've got process and procedures that's more efficient and sustainable for the long term. So how are they engaging with the whole process?
Yeah. First of all, I think like sometimes they start with an idea of the tech they need, and the full process that we have brings some surprises, and they will say, like, oh, okay, now it makes sense to see a different software that I was initially thinking of. So this full process allows us to benchmark and to compare different platforms. And again, for example, they didn't know about the Open API. Open API for me is one of the main criteria today that any system needs to have, or some other features that the Hotelier didn't think about. And then we say, oh, okay, but this one is actually quite important. For me, we have like kind of 6 criteria and that we are recommending to look at, such as easy to use interface, or if it's a good fit for the client, because again, I would not recommend to someone who has never heard of revenue management and ideas, because it will be quite complicated and it will raise more questions than it solve question for someone who had never heard of revenue management. So making sure it's a good fit for the client. The integration and open API is another big one, a strong customer support, and then innovative visions. I think you need to make sure you have a clear path and a clear vision for the startup that you are working with. So all they are engaged with this new technology and this process. I think nowadays, and with the current situation, everyone is looking to automate as much as they can, because you have a lot of people currently on furlough in the UK, but as well across Europe. So people are much more sensitive to protecting the cash flow. So anything that they invest at the moment needs to drive a clear ROI, return on investment. But again, they are looking to automate as much as they can. So that's why they are looking to just looking at some number of searches on Google. Just like if you are quite curious, you look at Google Trends for revenue management system or revenue management platform, and you will see the trend, which is like growing super fast, because people are that's hard to say, but sometimes they are looking to replace revenue manager on property with automated revenue management system, which I don't recommend because it doesn't make sense. You need to have both the tactics as revenue management system and the strategy with a good revenue manager, outsource, clusterize, or on property. But you need to have this kind of tactics and strategy in place to have the optimal performance.
So let's look at two criteria points that you look at when deciding on the right one. The first one is vision. So this is of the actual tech provider itself.
Yes.
Why is vision and innovation really important for you when making that choice?
Yeah, I mean, this one is very important because we have been working as well with some very early stage startups, and you need to make sure you understand their visions, because what you are buying in at the moment may be different in 6 months or 1 year or 2 years. So you're aligned with what the direction that the company is going, because what you are buying this year may be completely different in 5 years. And that's sometimes people are just buying the vision rather than the product itself as of today. They say, okay, today the product is a bit unstable or a bit what do you call this, like scrappy in a way. However, you are buying into the vision, into the dreams that they are currently building, and that's what is the most important, I believe.
And then open APIs, because there's a lot of talk about open APIs and the importance there. Why is that so essential to what you're doing?
I think the open API, it's very important for the I mean, to give the personalization needed, the high personalization that Hotelier needs, and they need to connect their housekeeping system, they need to connect their card system, their revenue management system, and so on. So this kind of open API allows the Hotelier to personalize as much as they can, as much as they want the tech platform. And again, it goes back to the end of the legacy system, where you were stuck with one platform, one system, and that's it. Now people are looking for highly personalization, and the Open API allows this kind of features. So yeah.
Now that's also about patching in and connecting other systems. As we mentioned, the revenue management system is one that plugs into the property management system.
Yes.
And you mentioned Atomize, Pace, Duetto, and Ideas. Why are you working with 4 different types of RMS? What's your thinking behind that?
I believe there is to mention what I just mentioned, there is no one solution that fits all, in my opinion, to any system, and revenue management system included. And depending on the team that the hotel has at the moment, we will recommend different system. Then the level of understanding and knowledge they have of revenue management. So yeah, it will mostly depend on the business requirement and understanding of revenue management for different teams. While we work with 4 different ones, for me at the moment, that's the best one available in the market for 2020. Maybe there will be new one in 2021, but so far that's the best one that you can look at. And yeah, ideas again. Budget is a big one to go back to the reference system. So I will not recommend like an ideas to a 10 rooms hotel in Amsterdam, but for something a bit more advanced, a bit more complex, we should go with Duetto and ideas. But again, they have different features, they have different approach, they have also different interaction with needed manually with the key stakeholders. So that's why I will recommend different approaches.
And now, what's the experience of the implementation process? How do you make that successful to begin with? So, you've both got, the director or the owner of the hotel, and then you've got the team that needs to be managing these tools on a day-to-day basis. So, how do you approach that successfully?
Yeah, first, I think you need to have. Well, first of all, if you want to solve 99% of your problem, you need to source the right partners and the right platforms, because some of them they are selling you the dream when it comes to onboarding, when it comes to implementation and so on. But when it comes to make it happen, then there is no one and you're by yourself. So I think like sourcing the right partner and the right platform will solve 99% of your problem. Then having a clear timeline, making sure everyone understands when and where they need to be involved, and making sure the team as well is involved. So it's not a matter of only the revenue manager or only the GM who is doing this or fully outsourced. But everyone needs to be involved and needs to embrace this change. Again, as I mentioned, switching from Opera, the legacy system, to Mews or Apaelo, and people who have been working this hotel for like 20 years and have been used to work with Opera, it's a big change for them because you need to relearn the different check-in, check-out, the billing, where it is, and so on. So it's a big change for them. It goes with a lot of training. It goes with a lot of support from Mews or from Apaelo. So the customer support, that's why it goes back to one of the main criteria, because at the beginning and for the first few weeks, few months, you will have thousands of questions to answer to the team. But training is one, and as well making sure we share with them that we understand it's a hard move, but they also need to understand the benefits of moving to this one. And sometimes I've seen this one happening more often, where the team is actually complaining of the move. Whatever system you change, they will be complaining about the change. Okay, no one likes change. However, after a few weeks, they're like, okay, now it makes actually sense. I start to like it. And after a few months, they are raving about the new system. So that's kind of the natural resistance that you have to change, and then it changes, and then they are used to it. And then if you tell them like, oh, we want to go back to Opera, I say, no, I'm fine with Mews or Apaelo. So yeah, that's a change.
So sometimes you just need a lot of patience to begin with to get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
So you had quite a bit of experience and success, particularly with the hotel Eccleston Square Hotel in London, I understand. You replaced all their tech stacks. Tell us about that case study.
Yeah, I mean, this one has been one of our first clients in London. We have been working with them for 2 years, and we have reviewed their full technology stack when it comes to PMS, when it comes to revenue management system, and as well, if you look at online for the Eccleston, you will see that they have changed most of their tech stack. So, and this one, just by changing the tech stack, leveraging the technology to automate as much as they can the tactics, and then bringing us along for the revenue management expertise and strategy, we have seen an increase from 2018 to 2019 revenue. We have seen an increase. It was around between 12 and 15% year on year.
That's fantastic. And what property management system and revenue management system are you using there?
In this one, they're using Mews as a property management system, and they're using Atomize as a revenue management system.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to looking at new technologies, then you said, as you say, it's around digitalization, automation, particularly of the tactics, so that the hotel remains in control of the strategy.
Yep.
But what do you see coming up in it very soon in the future for new tech as part of the revenue management tech stack?
Yeah, I've seen. Recently, I've been involved in a board of advisor for a company called Catanox, and this one they are looking to disrupt the direct booking API. So as they want to go, they want to allow hotelier and travel agent to go from a travel agent to hotel and hotel direct to travel agent. So it goes directly faster and almost seamless. So I think that's one thing that I see. But any kind of I see like thousands of hotel tech startups and so on starting and being created on the last few weeks, few months. So I think like it's a very interesting time for our industry, and still a lot of things to be created and to be done. But I feel that we'll be looking at a lot more automations in our industries. For any areas that you have in a hotel, any kind of marketplace. I think like a marketplace has been one of the keywords for 2020, 2019, and is growing in popularity. So marketplace with a lot of different apps that you can integrate to each other is very important. Fully transparent. Hotelier needs to understand exactly where the fees are going, because again, it goes back to ROI. So every single cent will be will ask where it goes, and we need to be very transparent about it. And again, high personalization of the platform. So going back to the open API, everyone is looking for the platform that is right for them. And maybe that's a small tweak or anything that needs to be changed. And this personalization needs to happen. And again, more importantly than ever, any tech that can support hotelier to recover faster, but that can give back the control to the hotelier. Because people and hotelier are starting to lose control because of the OTA, because of system that they don't understand, the big black box, you see what I mean? And I feel there is this kind of need and requirement of hoteliers that is to understand how the system is working. And they feel that they are not only they feel, they are in control of their hotels and their availability and rate.
Excellent, wonderful. Thibault, thank you very much indeed for talking us through the different types of techs that you're using within Catala Consulting. It's really fascinating to learn how you're taking that approach, and particularly some of the results that you've seen. Thank you very much. So if you want to hear more stories from hoteliers and their experiences of new technologies and how they're making those decision-making processes and how they're procuring the right systems, check out our full series, Hotelier's Voice, on travelmarket.life. I'm Ryan Haynes. I've been your host. Thanks for joining me. Ciao for now.